Dear my high student secondary 1 أعزائي طلاب الصف الأول الثانوي، أهلا بكم وحلقة جديدة وفيزيكس أولى ثانوي. النهاردة هناخد problems on acceleration 2. عرفنا الأول في الحلقات اللي قبل كده قلنا الفيلوسيتي، يعني إيه فيلوسيتي؟ change in displacement per change in time. وقلنا الفيلوسيتي فيها 3 أنواع، يا إما instantaneous velocity أو average velocity أو uniform أو non-uniform أو uniform velocity. قلنا uniform velocity change in displacement per change in time is uniform، أو rate of change of displacement is constant. في instantaneous velocity اللي هي velocity of moving body at a certain instant. في average velocity total displacement per total time. بعد كده في acceleration، يعني ايه acceleration؟ change in velocity per change in time. وقلنا في 3 kind of acceleration. لو acceleration positive يبقى VF greater than VI، يبقى VF أكبر من VI بسميه positive acceleration. لو VF less than VI يبقى negative acceleration أو deceleration. لو VF equal VI بسميه uniform velocity أو zero acceleration. تعال نشوف problem number 1. acceleration 2. بيقول لي a body is moving with a uniform velocity of 5 meters per second for 5 seconds. Then its acceleration equal. وقال لي هنا for choose. number 1 5 meters per second. number 2 1 meter 5 meters per second square. number 2 1 meter per second square. number 3 negative 5 meter per second square. and number 4 0 second square. تعال نشوف الانسرز. number 1 طبعا هنا a body is moving with uniform velocity 5 meter per second for 5 seconds. then its acceleration equal. طبعا هنا 5 minus 5 يبقى الاكسلريشن equal 0. problem number 2 بيقول لي هنا if a body start from rest يبقى هنا ال VI ب0 and the speed up at a constant rate till its velocity becomes 50 meters per second during 10 seconds. This motion is at acceleration. وقال لي for choose. number 1 بيقول لي هنا هل هي 40 meter per second square. number 2 5 meter per second square. number 3 60 meter per second square. and number 4 5 meter per second square. تعال نشوف الانسرز. number 2 if an object start from rest يبقى ال VI ب0 and the speed up at constant rate till its velocity 50 يبقى ده ال VF during time 10 seconds. then the motions at acceleration يبقى هنا الانسرز equal 5 meter per second square. problem number 3 a car was moving at velocity 30 meters per second. When drivers apply the brakes, the car stops within 15 seconds. Choose the acceleration of the car while 2 meters per second square, Number 2 negative 6 meter per second square. Number 3 6 meter per second square. And number 4 negative 2 meter per second square. يبقى هنا and the acceleration of the car. وقال لي عندي هنا 4 choose. Number 1 positive value. Number 2 negative value. Number 3 0. Number 4 has no change. مفيش تغيير. تعال نشوف الانسرز. Change in velocity هنا 0 minus 3 equal negative 30 meter per second. And the acceleration change in velocity will change in time. Negative 30 divided 15 يبقى equal negative 2 meter per second square. And the acceleration of the car يبقى هنا مادام طلعت بالنيجاتيف يبقى الاكسلريشن نيجاتيف. Problem number 4. If a car is moving in a straight line to cover a distance of 300 meters in a minute, the cars of the velocity equals وقال لي 4 choose. Number 1 2 meter per second. Number 2 5 meter per second. Number 3 6 meter per second. And number 4 240 meter per second. تعال نشوف الانسرز. If a car is moving in a straight line to cover a distance of 300 meters in a minute, the car velocity equals وقال لي الانسرز 5 meter per second. Problem number 5. هنا في جراف between. خلي بالك بقى من الجراف between الفيلوسيتي v meter per second هنا and التايم بالسكند. وهنا في straight line وهنا دي x وهنا a وهنا دي 30 وهنا x وهنا b وده 3 وده 6. بيقول لي هنا the relation between two objects A and B and time. The acceleration of A is greater than طبعا ده الانسرز acceleration of A greater than B. ده الانسرز مين اكبر A ولا B؟ يبقى الاكسلريشن of A greater than B. Problem number 6. هنا في جراف between الفيلوسيتي متر per second and the time second. وهنا مدينا عند الفيلوسيتي 50 وهنا A نقطة A 2 B 8 C and 10 والتايم بالسكند. هنا بيقول لي the acceleration at point A equal 15 divided 16 meter per second square ولا 25 meter per second square ولا 15 divided 4 meter per second square or 240 meter per second square. Choose B. The slope of B وقال لي 4 choose 15 per 16 meter per second square or 5 meter per second square or 0 meter per second square or 240 meter per second square. Acceleration number C 15 per 16 meter per second square negative 25 meter per second square 15 per 4 meter per second square 240 meter per second square. Answers number 6. Acceleration 50 minus 0 divided 2 minus 0 يبقى هنا الانسرز 25 meter per second square. ده acceleration A. Number B, acceleration 50 minus 50, 8 minus 2 equals 0 meter per second square. And number C, acceleration 0 minus 50 divided 10 minus 8 يبقى negative 25 meter per second square. Problem number 7. If an accelerations of an object equal 0, doesn't this means that the velocity must be equal 0? And explain your answers. يبقى هنا بيقول لي acceleration of object equal 0. Does this means that its velocity equal to be 0? Explain your answers. طبعا هيجينا في أسئلة choose وأسئلة مقالية في الامتحان. ده سؤال مقالي. تعال نشوف الانسرز. answers number 7 طبعا الانسرز no. Why? Because the body that moves with uniform velocity يبقى body moves with uniform velocity يبقى has no acceleration. Problem number 8. What happens when a driver passes the brakes of moving a car, concerning the value of its acceleration and the value of its final velocity? تعال نشوف الانسرز. The car moves with negative acceleration, which means that the velocity decreases until the final velocity becomes 0. Problem number 9. It is possible for velocity of car to be the north directions when the car is affected at the same times by the acceleration in the both the north direction. Discuss your answers. تعال نشوف الانسرز. طبعا الانسرز yes. Why? Because of the car moving to the north then it decrease أو deceleration. It will be moving at these times at an acceleration positive to its direction of motion to the south due to the south. Problem or graph number 10. هنا graph between d meter and time per second. وقال هنا 10 and 20 and 30. 2, 4, 6, 8. The graph between d and time. So in this graph, the motions of body that starts its motions from rest and moves with uniform acceleration of وعندي 4 choose 30 meter per second square, 15 per 16 meter per second square, 15 meter per second square, and 50 per 4 meter per second square. Answers number 10. In the graph, the motions of body that start its motions from rest and moves with uniform acceleration answers 15 per 16 meter per second square. Where slope 30 minus 0 divided 8 minus 0 equal 15 divided 4 meter per second. So, if the body starts its motions from rest, هنا ال VF equal 2 VF equal 80. So, ال A equal 2 multiply 15 divided 4 divided 8 equal 15 divided 16 meter per second square. Problem number 11. If a car is moving in a straight line to cover a distance of 30 meters in minute, if the car velocity وقال لي equals وفي 4 تشوز. نمبر 1 2 متر بير سكند، نمبر 2 5 متر بير سكند، نمبر 3 5 متر 6 متر بير سكند، the number 4 240 meter per second. Answers number 11. If the car is moving in a straight line to cover distance of 30 meter in minutes, the car of velocity answers 5 meter per second. Problem number 12. The opposite graph describes the motion's body moving with acceleration. So then the velocity of body v and t. Choose increase by uniform rate, increase by non-uniform rate, increase by uniform rate, decrease by non-uniform rate. طبعا الانسرز يبقى هنا the velocity of body answers decrease by uniform rate. Questions number 13. A car takes 4 seconds to have a velocity 9 times. Its initial velocity, the decrease of its motions, is numerically equal to will its velocity half ولا double ولا 4 times or 3 times. الانسرز a car take 4 seconds to have velocity 9 times its initial velocity, the acceleration of moving numerically equal to its velocity. طبعا الانسرز double. Questions number 14. If both the direction of velocity and the acceleration are negative, the velocity of object increase, the velocity of object decrease, the velocity of object constant, and the object stops motions. الانسرز if the both of direction velocity negative, answers velocity of object increase. Problem number 15. A man start his motions from rest with uniform acceleration 1 meter per second square. If his average velocity 1 meter per second, then the time of his motions وقال لي 1 or 2 or 4 or half second. طبعا الانسرز 15. A car start his motions from rest with uniform acceleration 1 meter per second square. الانسرز 2 seconds. The last problem, final velocity and t 8 5 10 15 20 25 negative 8. So the acceleration from t equal 5 to 15 ولا 2 ولا 1.6 or 6 or negative 2. هنا الانسرز يبقى الاكسلريشن change in velocity per change in time 8 minus 8 divided 15 minus 5 equal 1.6 meter per second square. ودي كانت آخر حاجة في حلقتنا النهاردة. أشكركم طلاب الصف الأول الثانوي. Thank you very much وإلى اللقاء في حلقة قادمة وشكرا. أشكركم مستر عماد سامي. Thank you.